Heidi here from Rain Country Homestead, and I wanted to do a quick update on the laundry and the progress. So this is the next day after the last video that I put up about laundry. And so just in case you didn't see this one, we picked this mop bucket up for $1 at a garage sale. And it's pretty much brand new. And I've been wanting to try this for a while, doing laundry by hand with this thing. And so far what I'm finding is that the wringer is not wringing the clothes out quite well enough. They just end up way too drippy. And so yesterday, the load that you saw, I did end up having to stick it in the washing machine on the spin cycle to get more of the water out. But I'm still working on it. I've got my third load here. I've got towels in here that I'm trying out, and I'm going to keep practicing to see how well I can do. Now the first load I did was sheets. I'm going to take you out to the clothesline and show you that. So here are my sheets, and up here, oh, they've probably been hanging for a couple hours now. Up here they're pretty dry, as you would expect. We all know that sheets dry pretty quickly, and that's why I wanted to try again with sheets. However, even then, I still have a lot of water down here, and I don't know if you can see that. And I've been coming out here and kind of wringing it out by hand. But you know what? This is fine. I'm cool with this because I'm gonna keep practicing with that thing. One thing I'm finding out is, all right, this isn't probably going to be the method I want to go with if I have to wash clothes by hand. And I've had my heart set on getting a wringer, one of those old-fashioned style wringers, for several years, but they are rather spendy. And so I've been putting it off to see if I can find methods that were less expensive before I invested in it. And I know it has its own drawbacks too. But this is telling me that, okay, if I want to do this, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and invest. And I'm fine with that. I'd rather start with investing in $1 for a mop bucket first and try it out, and then spend the $250 on a wringer. Because you know what? The mop bucket is still great. I'm really liking the size of it. It's perfect for washing the clothes in, and then with the wheels, I can just wheel it anywhere to dump the water. So that was turning out to be ideal for washing the clothes. And the little plunger that I bought, brand new, specifically for washing clothes, I like how it's working. And it was cheaper than buying one of them fancier ones that are made specifically for washing clothes with. And so I'm happy with that. So I'll probably just have to invest in a wringer. So you may be asking, gee, Heidi, why are you doing this? If you've got solar power and you've got a working washing machine, why are you washing clothes by hand? And, especially why do it now? Well, because you know what? I don't see things getting better, and I don't put complete trust and faith in one thing. My solar power, living where we live, we don't get a lot of sun in the wintertime. And so there's not a whole lot we can run, even on our pretty good array that we have in the wintertime on our solar power. So I want to have a backup, and we get enough power outages that I can't trust that I'm always going to have public power to back up, as a backup. And plus, if we're ever going to actually go off grid like we're planning, we're still looking at property to expand and put a cabin on, then I might as well start practicing now. And besides, you just never know. You never know when that either personal event's going to happen that's going to put you in a situation where, let's say my washing machine breaks down, or something happens and we can't get any solar power and we don't have public power. I mean, there's anything that can happen. I was at a family member's house several years back, and they were the only ones in the area that lost complete power while we were there visiting them. Thankfully, they had a wood stove. It was middle of winter, and thankfully, they had a wood stove. And she knew a little bit about cooking on the wood stove, that she could do something simple. But it's one of those things, and their power was out for a week before they could get it fixed, and it was a problem, and they're on their end. But yeah, I mean, you never ever know. So this is why you practice, and the reason why am I videotaping my garden? Well, that plays into this too. I may not have the biggest, fanciest garden in the world, but I've been practicing to get this far for several years. The first year that I put in a garden, it did not look like this, especially this late in the season did not look like this. And yes, those beans might not look like much right now. Well, that's because it's the end of the season. I've got them drying on the vine, because the rest of those I'm saving for dry beans. I still got herbs giving me plenty, and I've been harvesting those practically daily. I still got lettuces and kale and zucchini out there. I'm still getting an abundance of stuff out of my garden. But this took practice and time. So if you think that, if you're one of those people that maybe you call yourself a prepper, and your method of prepping is storing a bunch of seed in the garden, or stocking up on things for, like a mop bucket for washing your clothes in, and you think, okay, when things get bad, I'll do this. But then things suddenly get bad and you have no idea how to do any of this stuff. It can take years to get your garden to a point where you're getting enough food to feed yourself and your family. It can take a lot of practice, just like me with this mop bucket. And finding out that, well, the wringer's not the best method. I could do better wringing these things out by hand than by using the wringer that came on there. At least it's a start, but, you know, this is why you practice now. Do not put it off. Everything takes time to learn. Our ancestors used to do all this stuff, sure, but you know what? They grew up in this stuff. They grew up being taught these things from a very young age. They were out working in the garden and washing the clothes and all that kind of stuff, so they knew. We've gotten so far away from it as in the last several generations, that many people are very unskilled. I knew nothing about gardening when I got started, but I learned not just by reading. You can't just trust what you learn in books. Not that they're not right, but it's still not going to tell you what you need to know for your own personal area, your own little microclimate, and maybe the method of gardening you want to use. It takes practice, people. So don't put it off. Even if you live in an apartment or a small area, you can start practicing these things, these different things, cooking from scratch and maybe doing some container gardening. That's how I really got started, was my deck garden with all the containers, the blueberries and all that kind of stuff up there. So don't put off for tomorrow what you can be getting done today. So there's my little rant and my little update on the laundry, and I will be investing in a wringer. I'm still going to practice with the mop bucket for a while, or with the wringer that's on the mop bucket for a while first. But I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be moving that wringer from my wish list into my cart here pretty soon, because I really want to get this figured out while I can. And my dog needs my attention, so I'm going to close this video, and I hope you learned something. I hope that what I say isn't too preachy, or it's not made to make anyone feel guilty or small. It's to encourage people. So take it with that, because I want to see everybody in a better spot. So I love y'all. Take care, and God bless.